Hey guys, let's talk about Kubernetes today. Okay, so let's quickly revise what is Kubernetes. So what is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is a platform that manages containers automatically at large scale. Okay, so we have seen in the earlier video what is Docker. Using Docker you create a containers. Okay, but when you have hundreds of containers, how you will manage it manually? You can't do it by your own. You need an orchestrated tool, and Kubernetes is that orchestrated tool which will manage your container at large scale. Okay, so now it helps with deployment, scaling, load balancing, and self-healing, GPU scheduling, and rolling updates. Okay, self-healing means it will restart the container, or if any container is down or shut down, it will recreate the container. And then it is heavily used in AI systems. Okay, because this playlist is for the AI ML ops, so that's why I have to go and revise the create the video for Docker and Kubernetes, and then cloud platform, microservices, and LLM inference systems. So now Kubernetes architecture, if you see, so here see these are the components in Kubernetes architecture, which is control plane. The very first thing, inside control plane you will have the API server, scheduler, and then controller manager. Okay, then after that you will have the worker nodes, and inside worker node you will be having kubelets and container runtime. Now what is that? Let's see. So API server, so this one is your entry point. Okay, entry point for all the requests. So all the requests will go to API server first, and then it will validate and process the request. So after that, now what is scheduler? Scheduler will watch for new pods or select best node to run the pod. You can see these pods are running inside a node. Okay, inside the node. So which pod should run on which node, that will decided by the scheduler. Okay, and then controller manager. So this one will run controllers and maintain desired state. Like for example, for this particular pod I need 3 replicas. Okay, so in 3 replicas it will create those 3 replicas. Okay, it will the desired state for that pod is 3. So if any one is down or shut down, it will recreate it. Okay, so this thing will be done by the controller manager. Now kubelet. So kubelet, what it will do, ensure containers are running in a pod. Okay, that kubelet will do. And then container runtime, so run container, that is container docker. Okay, so this is just only simple architecture of Kubernetes. Now a cluster is a group of computer connected and working together in one system. You have heard lots of time cluster. What is cluster? Cluster is this group of computers. Okay, group of computers which are working together in one system. So used for faster processing and handling large tasks, and for example servers in data center working as a cluster. Okay, because in data center you require a huge amount of storage and everything. Okay, how can one system you can say vertical scaling can use there, right? So you will have a multiple servers, horizontal scaling we can say, and they work together, form a cluster. Now main Kubernetes components. So whatever components we have discussed here, all these components, okay, control plane, worker node, this one we will discuss. Now let's see those things. So control plane, which is also called master. So brain of Kubernetes, you can say this. Okay, the first thing there is API server. So main entry point and all commands go here. For example, kubectl apply. Okay, kubectl, using kubectl you run the Kubernetes command. So kubectl apply. Okay, now scheduler, so decide which node should run on which port. Okay, should run this port. So for example, for AI, check GPU availability. Whatever GPU is free, it will just assign task to that GPU, memory, and CPU. Now third one is controller manager. Maintain desired state. Example, if pod crashes, restart it. If replicas needed, create more. Okay, as I told you. etcd. Oh, etcd we left, right? See, this is etcd. etcd is your key value store. Okay, it will just store all the config information about your Kubernetes cluster. These all things called the cluster. Okay, so store cluster data, config state, metadata, all those things. Okay, how many replicas you want, how many replicas are running right now. etcd, you can say dictionary. Okay, we maintain all this information there. Or which pod is running on which node. Okay, all those things. So Fourth one is etcd, key value database storing clustered state. Store configs, your pods, your nodes, and your deployments. Okay, so deployments we will see what is that. Second thing is worker node. Okay, so first one is control plane, second one is worker node. So worker node contains kubelet, container runtime, and pods. So what is Kubernetes pod? What is pod? Smallest deployable unit in Kubernetes, you can say this. A pod contains one or more containers, shared network, and then shared storage. Pods are shared networks and storage also, okay? They share both the things. For example, pod inside, so pod can have LLM container, logging container, and then shared volume also, right? So important pod rules, what will be the important pod rules you need to remember? Pod gets one IP, okay? Container inside pod communicates using localhost. Let's say you have one pod, inside that you have a 3 container, okay? LLM container, logging container, then you have a volume, and then these 3 will communicate each other with localhost, and this pod itself will give only one IP, okay? Now pods are ephemeral, so if pod dies, Kubernetes recreates it, okay? Never store permanent data inside pods, okay? Associate pods with the volume, container with the volume, sorry. Usually one main app per pod, okay? Usually we run one pod, means one container only. So one pod, one VLLM server. Pod scale horizontally, so traffic increases, Kubernetes creates more pods. So horizontal scaling. Pod runs on nodes, so scheduler selected the node. We see that inside a node we run the pods. Kubernetes objects. So here we will talk few objects like deployment, okay? Then your Ingress, okay? And then config, security. So these are the Kubernetes object. And what are those? We will see. So first one is deployment. A deployment tells Kubernetes which Docker image to run, okay? You need to give these all things, this Docker information, container information to Kubernetes, right? That let's say I have 100 containers, so Kubernetes will manage my containers, but first I need to tell him that create pod for this container, for that container, okay? And then create volume for this and all those things. So all those things I will give in a deployment, okay? XML's nothing, it's just the XML files where I am just putting the information, okay? So Kubernetes can execute it. So a deployment tells Kubernetes which Docker image to run, how many copies or replicas I need, okay? And how to update the app. So for example, you want 3 copies of your Spring Boot app running. So how you will give it? See, you will give the first one will be API version. So what is the version of your this app, okay? Now kind could be deployment, secret, config, anything, okay? Ingress, service. So here I am creating a deployment right now, okay? So the kind will be deployment. What will be my metadata? So my app is the name of my application. I need 3 replicas, okay? And it is just selecting this match label, my data, my app, okay? And then after that here is the thing, container. So here I am telling him that create one container whose name will be my container, and create container with this image, and this is the port number where that container will run. So this is what all I mention in a deployment, and then it will execute and create a container for me inside a pod. And it will create 3 replicas of that, okay? So what happened here? Deployment will create a pod, each pod runs in a container, each pod runs container. So replica equal to 3 means 3 pod will run, right? Second one is service, okay? So what are we seeing here? We are checking the Kubernetes objects. So first one was deployment, second one is service, okay? So now services, pod in Kubernetes can die or restart, okay? So their IP address changes, correct, every time. So Kubernetes uses service to provide a stable IP, stable DNS name, and load balancing. Simple service, see, all things will be same. See, kind is service now here, okay? This is the name, label match. Now here, the port number I will give, I will use TCP protocol, okay? And then this one will be the port number where my service is running, port number 80, and target port number is 80 again. So this one is cluster IP. You will have a different kind of services, okay? Node port, cluster IP, different kinds of services. So what happens here? The service finds port with the name my app, okay? And then forward it traffic to them. So for example, user request came to service first, and then from service it will redirect it to port 1, port 2, or port 3, okay? So now service acts like traffic manager or load balancer here. Ingress. Okay, let's say service is not, you can think it like normal load balancer. Okay, you have a multiple pods, so service will redirect the traffic there, but it is for the internal traffic only. Okay, let's say someone is calling from outside. For external traffic, it will go to ingress, and from ingress it will go to service, and then it will redirect the traffic. Okay, so ingress is a service exposes your app inside Kubernetes. Service exposes your app inside Kubernetes, but how does internal traffic enter into the cluster? Okay, internet traffic, so you have a cluster, Kubernetes cluster, so internally though you use service, but how external traffic come into your cluster? So this is the job of ingress controller. So what will be the flow? Internet traffic will go to ingress, then from their service, and then it will redirect to ports. Now ingress works like API gateway or reverse proxy or traffic router. So usually powered by Nginx ingress controller, traffic, or HA proxy. These are the examples people use, companies use. Now simple ingress YAML file, how it will look like. See, app version will be like that. Now here kind is ingress, okay, and these are the rules. So this is my host machine, myapp.com. This is my host machine, and what is the path / okay, and backend. So this is my service, okay, my service, and this is the port number for my service. So here I have mentioned my host service information, okay, in this ingress, and this is the name of my ingress controller, ingress service. So now what is this? So myapp.com, okay, will go traffic to ingress, and then my service, and then pods. So it will redirect like this, the traffic. Okay, so fourth one is ConfigMap. See, application need configuration like DB URL, API endpoint, okay, then the feature flag, environment variable. So you cannot hard code these all things into your code. Next time if it gets changed, you need to change in entire places of your application, and again you would be required a deployment, right? So we write all these things in a ConfigMap. So ConfigMap is also one kind of object in a Kubernetes, and instead of hard coding inside code or Docker image, Kubernetes store them in a ConfigMap. So simple ConfigMap YAML example you can see here. See, this is the kind is ConfigMap here, okay, and like DB host or app mode, all these things I will mention there, key value pair. So using ConfigMap in deployment, now you will use this ConfigMap into the deployment. Okay, so something like this, env will be your tag, and name like DB host, from where he has to read this DB host. So config map key reference name app config and DB host. Okay, so app config is the name of your configuration, your config map. Okay, something like this, and you don't need to take tension about the syntaxes. Everything you just ask it to AI, it will just give you everything. Okay, just know the crux here, that what is the flow in Kubernetes and what it does. So what will be the result? So inside container, if you write it echo like DB host, so output will be your DB URL name. Now host name. Now secret. Okay, so now what is difference between config map and secret? So in secret we store the private means confidential information, sensitive information, right? Secret stores sensitive data like password, API key, JWT token, OpenAI, secrets. Okay, then database credentials. So what is the important here? Config map is like normal data, and secrets will store sensitive data. So again kind will be secret here, and just use like this. What is this strange value? So see, if you see here, DB password is stored something like this. Okay, so why? Because it is using base 64 encoding, that's why. Okay, so if you do echo hyphen and password and then base 64, you will see the correct password. Now using secret in deployment, how you use this secret into the deployment file? Deployment is telling Kubernetes that how many pods you need to create, okay, from where, and then you define their config map, secrets, services, everything, right? So then how you will use this secret into the config map deployment? So you just give environment, name will be like this, value from where you will read it, secret key ref. Okay, and for config map, what it was? For config map, it was config map key ref. Okay, so secret key map key ref and then config map key ref. Now full Kubernetes flow, if you see, so internet traffic will go to ingress, then service, then ports or deployment, you can say. Okay, and it will use your config map or secrets. And Kubernetes Flow, if you see, user request will go to Ingress, then service, then pod, and then container. So important commands if you talk here about Kubernetes, so what it would be: cluster info. If you wanted to see the cluster info, you just use kubectl cluster-info. Show nodes, all the nodes you need to see, so kubectl get nodes. Show all the pods, okay, so kubectl get pods. Then detail pod info, so kubectl describe pod and then pod name. Then view logs, so kubectl logs and then pod name. Okay. After that, open shell inside pod, because inside pod your container is running. Okay. So kubectl execute -it. This is iterative mode, detached mode. We have already talked about in a Docker revision video. Okay. Pod name and --bash. Apply YAML config. So kubectl apply -f, then app.yaml file. Let's say your app.yaml is your, let's say, your deployment. Now delete resource. So kubectl delete -f and then app.yaml. You can delete it like this. Scale deployment, so kubectl scale deployment my app replica file. It will create 5 copies of a pod. And then restart deployment, so kubectl rollout restart deployment my app. These are the commands. Okay, so Docker versus Kubernetes, if you talk about, then see, Docker creates container, but Kubernetes manage the container. Now Docker is single machine focus, this one is cluster focus. Now Docker is packaging app and Kubernetes is orchestrating app. Okay, then Docker run container and Kubernetes scale and heal containers. AI LLM real example, if you see, so let's say you have a LLM model, okay, which is a pre-trained model weights it has, okay, like Llama, Mistral, GPT. So these, you have a LLM model, you have one open source model, let's say, and then you will create a so now you will have a Docker image of that model. Okay, so what will be there in a Docker image? Your model, it's a dependency, it's a runtime, okay, inference system also, VLLM you can say. Inference system I've already created video, okay, just go in my playlist and see. Then I will run that image, so container will get created, okay, running instance of the Docker image, and then Kubernetes pod will get, okay, created. So one or more containers, usually 1, 2 for LLM, managed by Kubernetes. Now Kubernetes pod, then you will have a GPU node. So pod is scheduled on a node with GPU, okay, GPU resources. Okay, in one node you will have multiple pods. So definitely that pod will get associated to that node, and then you will attach GPU resource to that node as well. Okay, and then user access model, so that after that user will be able to access the model after doing all these things. So now user will send the request and your model will send the response to user. Okay, so user send request via API, ingress, and receive model responses. So for example, Docker package VLLM server, then Kubernetes run many GPU pods and load balancer distribute request. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.